love my life, get my peace of mind, better try survive. We all be still, that's my party, nobody holy pass. And my happiness comes first, I never come life to stress, yeah, yeah.
Hey guys, it's your girl Tish, and I'm here with my hubby Ty.
Hey, what's the vibes? Ladies and gents.
Ladies and gents.
Was that?
He's too cool for school.
That didn't come off cool. I try to be too cool just now. What's the vibe, guys? What's the vibe, guys?
All right, so we have another question that we got asked.
So, obviously, on the social media platforms, there's been a big thing about, well, it's not so much as big as it was before, but it's still big as far as 50-50, going 50-50 in relationships. So there's like a two-part question to that, right? So if you have a girlfriend, should you be going 50-50 with your girlfriend? And also, your wife, should you be going 50-50? And we're going to just give our thoughts, and hopefully you guys can chime in and give your thoughts in the comments.
Yep. So what you think? I'm going to let you go first.
I think, me personally, should I go personally or should I, what I think?
Well, what you think is what you think personally.
Personally, I think at the end of the day, the man should be providing as much as he can. Let me say that, right? Because if my lady makes more than me, substantially more than me, I don't necessarily agree with me paying all of the bills, right? So if I'm making $100,000 a year and she's making $300,000 a year, it's only right that, we go half. Like, I'll take half off just making 3 times as less as she making. You know what I mean? I'll do the half, right? So it's like, you can't, as a man, you have to do manly things. You have to be responsible, and you're the leader of the household, right? So it's like, you have to take on as much as you can. So 50-50, only in certain instances, like if the lady's making more than you. But if you're making more than the lady, I feel like you should take on the whole bill.
Or the same. If you guys both make.
If you guys are making $300,000 a piece, I feel like you should take on all the bills.
The man should take on all the bills.
Absolutely, he can afford it, right? For the most part, I think that the woman should be there for him, obviously, in times of need.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, oh, he's just spending all his money and her money is her money, even though that's how they some of them think. But like, I think it's almost like an insurance policy. A good woman is a good insurance policy. You know what I mean? So if you ever a good asset, good insurance policy, good all that. It's like, if you fall on your face, your lady's right there to pick you up. You know what I mean? And that's what I think about 50-50. I think men should be, if they can, pay all, and if they can't, pay half.
I think I agree with you. I think women should be willing to take care of somebody who's willing to take care of them. I don't think that men should, off the bat, judge a woman that can't go 50-50 with them as not being a qualified partner. I feel like I hear that so much on social media. Like, what do you bring to the table? And, what do you worry about my pockets for? I do think that intimacy, I think that women, like, this is no offense to men, but I think that a good woman brings a lot to the table outside of currency.
And it has to be a lot more than just the sex too. Like, you just can't be like, well, the sex is good or that's the case, because at the end of the day, that's not enough, right?
I don't think
sex is part of it.
So I do not believe that sex for a man and a woman is equal. You know how men be like, a woman be like, well, I give you sex, and the man be like, well, I give you sex. I don't agree with that. I feel like a woman's sex is more valuable than a man's sex. My opinion. Maybe unpopular.
I think it's more valuable, but at the same time, you have to be humble about it at the same time. You can't just keep going off and saying that, oh, I give you sex, because it's like, well, it takes two to tangle.
That
right?
can't be enough.
Give you sex too, right?
Absolutely.
So
you can't say, well, I give you sex and I don't have to do nothing else. I don't have to be the person that you can rely on. I don't have to be somebody who you can think to or have ideas that you can bounce off of. I don't have to be somebody who, if you need me to go to the top of the mountain, go with you. Like, I give you sex. Like, That's not enough. Sex is definitely not enough. But I do not think sex is 50-50. I do think a woman sharing her body with a man is more valuable than a man sharing their body with a woman. That may be an unpopular opinion. I get it. Y'all can fight me. I know y'all like to tussle in the comments, but
I agree with that, though. I agree with
for
that.
the most part, I do think that a man is there to provide and protect, and a woman is there to nurture and to help grow.
Yes, I agree. Totally agree. And
do you believe in gender roles though? Like me and you live together, obviously, and it seems like you believe in gender roles. Because
I do.
he said I do. You definitely do, because there's certain things you just don't do. Like, he's not gonna wash the dishes. He's not gonna clean up. He will take out the garbage. Like, he does, like, what you think a man should do, and he does not do the things a woman should do unless it's really asked of him. But it works out for us.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I create super stability. So that's more important than all that. So
that's not true.
It's no, because at the end of the day,
it's more important.
It's like this, right?
To an extent.
If I wasn't washing dishes, I'm a messy person. If I would take my clothes off and leave them by the door, or my sneakers leave by the door, obviously, if I'm a man of a high value man making $300,000 a year, I can have a clean lady come do that. I don't necessarily need what are you here for? That's how I look at it sometimes, right? Like, what are you here for? Those are part of the things that you should be doing as a woman. You know what I mean?
Until the woman also makes the same amount of money. It's like, what am I here for? What are you here for? Because I make the same amount of money.
No, I disagree with that as well, because I also said if I make $300,000 and she make $300,000, I still pay all the bills. So I disagree with that as well. I still think you're supposed to do your part. Your part is your part.
But so then
it doesn't change.
Then it will go if it's half and half. So I don't want to. Let me ask this question, right? I ain't mad at that, but if you make $300,000 a year, right? And you pay all the bills, and I make $300,000 a year, and I get everything done, but I don't necessarily do it. Is that okay? Like, if I have a cook, if I have a maid, I'm paying for it.
You have to do some things, because you can't get everything done, because at the end of the day, it goes back to you being, an asset, an insurance policy. For all of that, I can remove you and do all that myself. I can. So
why do you need a person? Why do you need me to be cleaning or me to be cooking as long as I'm making sure it gets done?
But you're spending our money to make sure it gets done.
I'm spending the $300,000 that you're not really touching to make sure it gets done. I'm working, bro. I'm not that money is not coming out of thin air.
I'm not saying you can't do it. I mean, why would you want to do that every time? Like, you're talking about.
Why not? I'm working. I'm tired. If I'm making $300,000 a year, I'm probably have a full-time job that I'm tired of too. That it's that's running me down too. So you get to come home, put your feet up after working, but after working and me making $300,000 just because I'm not paying the bills, I can't put my feet up. Now I gotta come home and cook and clean.
And this is where we go back to saying the gender. I think women should. I think women
That's
should.
That's bullshit. If I'm making $300,000 a year and I can afford to make sure what me and my husband decide that is my roles in the house to get done, then I can get it done however I get it done. Because you're not going to tell me that the way you work and then you could come home, put your feet up because you paying the bills, that all of a sudden I'm not tired and I can come home and then do more work. Because household chores is a job.
Yeah, but so what makes you
household chores is a job.
So what makes you a lady? Like, what's your value? Like,
a woman's value is cleaning and cooking?
I think that's a part of it. I think that's a part of it, because again, you ever heard of a woman that cooks really well or da-da-da-da? That's important to a man, right? So if you can get down in the kitchen, that's very important to a man.
So I think that you have valid points.
It's almost like this, right? Mm-hmm. I always go back to tell you, right? If you got a chef cooking for us, and one day we get into a heated argument, we have disagreements, da-da-da-da, shit go left. Mm-hmm. What do you? I can just hire the chef to cook for me and replace those meals.
I can deal with another man to pay my bills.
That's not true. I'll find a chef before you find a man.
How you know that?
Because a man is not gonna a man that you making $300,000 on. Yeah, you'll get a man.
Yeah.
But he expects you to pay all the bills.
That's not necessarily true.
I'll find a chef that cooks the way I like to cook.
And I can find a vibrator then. If all then you're bringing is money and
I'm bringing stability. I'm bringing protection.
Protection against who?
The outside world. I mean, you're comfortable with me. You're safe with me.
I don't feel safe with anybody who feels like I should go do the same amount of work for them and then come home and do a whole nother job. Actually.
Well, then that's a discussion I don't know what this. I don't know. What
yeah, we would have to figure that part out because that's bullshit. I think that if I'm going outside, I'm making $300,000.
What is a woman's job?
A woman's job is to be a woman and be compatible to her man and be able to have a conversation. The house is, I agree, but the house is getting taken care of regardless. You can't tell me that I'm not a woman because I'm not. Yeah, that I'm paying for.
That's not authentic. After a while, it's like, ugh. I get it. Sometimes you might be tired. It's like, you know what? I'm a hire a chef this weekend, Ty. Or I'm gonna get a clean lady this weekend, Ty. No problem. But if it's a continuously every day, all the time, it's like, yo, bro. Unless, I mean, again, if we got a substantial amount of money and the house is humongous, it's one thing. Yeah, all right, cool. Get a lady to assist you, right? It's like, I'm gonna clean up some things, but I'm gonna have a housekeeper because this house is big. There's 7 bedrooms in here, and I can't clean up all the bedrooms.
It could be a 1-bedroom apartment.
No,
what I'm saying to you is, if I am going outside and I am working all day and we make the same amount of money because you're working all day and you're telling me at that point...
Take the money out of it because I feel like you keep talking about the money part.
But that's what it is because obviously...
Because I said if I made the same amount of money as you, I would still be doing my job.
I get what you're saying.
You're saying that...
So you're going to go mow the lawn. You're not going to pay nobody to mow the lawn. You're going to always take out the trash. You're not going to pay nobody to take out the trash. You're going to make sure the windows are clean because that's your job. Everything a man's supposed to do around the house, you're going to get underneath the car to change the tire. You're not going to take it to the shop.
A woman...
Are you going to change the tire or are you going to take it to the shop? Are you going to do everything a man is supposed to do? What the fuck is there a cook for? Don't tell me that you're not going to do everything a man's supposed to do because you're taking care of the bills, but tell me a woman is supposed to do cook and clean when you farm your jobs out all the fucking time as a man.
No,
men farm jobs out all the fucking time. Trust me, you're not going to do the shit men are supposed to do either.
You're not turning my house into a home. The chef is. So I should be fucking
paying
the chef.
That.
I should be fucking the chef.
So I should be fucking the mechanic.
I don't know.
It sounds like it. If the shoe fit.
The chef is not making the house a home.
If the shoe fit,
I mean, the
you should
home.
also be. If I need a dresser built, you should build the dresser. Don't hire a builder and should I be fucking the builder. Manly job around the house needs to be done by the man. Don't hire nobody outside to do it. It's nuts because all you do is do that. I think men do all the manly jobs. I think they farm out so many jobs.
Because there's a lot of physicality that comes with it.
There's a lot of physicality. You don't even like to pick your fucking pants up from the front of the door.
I feel like we're getting into specifics about our relationship.
But I'm just saying, you're a man that wants to leave his clothes at the front door. That's what you want to do. That takes a lot. If I come home from a 9 to 5 and I'm making $300,000, that means I'm working my ass off. Because a $300,000 a year job doesn't mean. Yes, it does. My brain, my ass. It doesn't mean I'm doing physical labor, but it means I have a high value job.
You're working smart, not hard.
Regardless, it's taking whatever out of me to get this job done, right? I probably had to
I know somebody who's making less than that, working harder than the person making $300,000.
Maybe physically, but not mentally. You don't know how much mental capacity that job will take.
It might not be much either. That I'm just saying. You're just saying based on the money you're making, it's going to be hard.
If I'm making, yes, I'm sure it's not going to be a simple job. You know, a simple job that gives you $300,000 a year.
No.
Job, maybe some type of entrepreneurship that you picked up. I'm talking about a job. If I'm going to work and I'm making that type of money, I'm more than likely putting in a lot of either brain power or physical power to make that type of money. You're saying after that, I need to come home and be a homemaker too. And I'm saying, fuck you. Because at the same time, you're not going to tell me that you can go to work, make that money, pay for the house, but you can also farm out man jobs. Hell no. So unless you're going to be the mechanic of the house, the plumber of the house, the electrician of the house, everything that men should be able to do, don't tell me I should be the cook of the house. I'm not a chef, just like you're not a mechanic. Don't tell me I have to be the cleaner-upper of the house. I'm not a maid, just like you're not a plumber.
There's a lot of women that is willing to replace that.
I wouldn't give a shit. Replace them.
I'm just letting you know.
Clock
just
it.
like there's a lot of people that's
clock it. Replace
job.
it. Because if I'm making $300,000 at that point,
you're gonna be a single woman for the rest of your life.
And that'd be okay.
That attitude.
That'd be okay.
No, it won't be.
Who for who?
Probably won't be for you.
Oh.
You like companionship. It won't be for you.
I'll find a companion if I needed to at that time.
Yeah, you'll be paying for everything.
I'm pretty sure. And at that point, you won't care. I'm making the money to do it. But I'm also not going to do something for a man that doesn't appreciate that I feel like I could.
That was never discussed.
Yes, it was. You said that I can find another woman to do those jobs if you won't. So obviously, the way I want to do things wouldn't be appreciated. That's the only reason why you would go look for another woman.
What comes with that, though? What comes with that? Like, what comes with you hiring somebody to do everything? Like,
what does it matter to you if you're eating? What does it matter? That's like
there's
me saying,
there's something that a man feels internally that his woman is doing for him. Period. Like, and if you don't believe that, you're gonna be, you know what I mean? Like, you got me.
I'm making sure it gets done.
You are 100% lucky.
1,000,000%.
Sure.
I love you. What I'm saying to you is what
you wouldn't be today, 2024, 2025. You'd be single.
I wouldn't give a shit.
Or you'd be dating a 65-year-old man.
I wouldn't give a shit.
You probably wouldn't because you probably
I wouldn't give a shit.
Probably wouldn't, but I think you would.
I would deal with what I felt like dealing with, and when I didn't feel like dealing with, I wouldn't deal with. That's just the type of person I am.
I kind of believe that.
What I'm saying to you is, at the end of the day, don't be the man. And I'm not saying that he is, because he's a good man. He's a good man, Savannah. What I'm saying is, for men, don't be the man that expects more from your wife.
I never said I expected more.
You said if we're both bringing in the same amount of money, that money is not just coming in from anywhere. Now, if you said you're not working, you're a stay-at-home mom, and then you want to spend the money that I bring in the house and pay a chef, and you want to spend the money that I bring in the house and pay a cook while you're laying on your ass all day.
I'm not totally against a chef. I told you that, but you're saying a chef is gonna cook every time we're hungry.
No, I'm not. There might be some. No, I'm not.
Because I specifically said to you, like, at the end of the day, yeah, you can hire a chef every now and again. You didn't stop me and say that's what I would do.
Yeah, I'm not saying every now and again. I'm saying maybe the chef makes the majority of our meals. I don't think nothing's wrong with that. If I'm paying for the chef to make, like, yo, my family, we like 3-course meals, morning, noon, and night. I'm paying you. I'm focused on my career, and me and my husband are both busy, and I need you to make that. Now, if I'm sitting, how do you think somebody's making $300,000 a year and not being busy, Ty? Bro, make it make sense.
What do you think? What do you think you're gonna be slaving for $300,000? That's not that much money, bro.
If you make $300,000 a year and you can pay all of the bills,
right?
That means that it's probably a good job, because what are we talking about?
A good job, but
so what are we talking about? An apartment?
You said an apartment. You said a 1-bedroom.
I'm just saying that we make enough money to be able to hire that. If I make enough money if I make $50,000 a year and he makes $50,000 a year and he decides that he's gonna pay all the bills, I may do a little bit more in the house because I'm just raised that way. We said a specific number. We said $300,000. Both of us make $300,000 a year. And with that, my answer was, if I want to hire somebody to do what you think are the womanly jobs, I'm going to do that. And if you don't like that, oh fucking well.
Clarify that. You're saying the majority of the time, meaning
majority of the time. Because in my head, if I'm making $300,000 a year, my job is probably pretty demanding. I'm just thinking that my job is probably pretty demanding, because I know men that make $300,000 a year and they're probably hardly ever home. They're making it seem like their job is very demanding. Babe, I'm at work. Babe, I'm in a meeting. Babe, I'm busy. Babe, I got to do this. They're probably not even home. So more than likely, the woman's job that's making that much money is probably more demanding, because you know what we deal with? We deal with sexism. So if I'm making that type of money, I am busting my ass.
I feel like you're having it both ways right now, because you're saying at the end of the day, if a job was demanding your time as opposed to like, and then you'll go back and say our relationship. You can be an entrepreneur. You can have things set up.
No, but I said a job. I said it's different if you're an entrepreneur. But I said if it's a job.
Let's speak
But even
ways.
if you're an entrepreneur, I don't want to speak too, because if you're making that much money, you're putting a lot of
in the beginning,
grief
yes, you
into
are.
your
In the beginning, yes, you are. You can make $300,000 in your sleep as an entrepreneur. It's not that much money to be making. It's really not. You can make $300,000 as a person that works at
But
a
you
9 to
gotta
5.
work your ass off to get
In
there.
the beginning, you do.
So even all right. So now I'm doing the fruits of my labor. Now I still gotta come home after I worked my ass off in the beginning. I gotta come home and cook and clean because you feel like you need
As a
me
woman,
to?
you don't feel like that's necessary.
No.
As a woman, that's something wrong with that.
I don't.
I think there's something wrong with that.
I don't.
I think there's something wrong with that.
I mean, that's okay. I think that if you think there's something wrong with
Because
that,
as a man,
you
I feel
have
like
to
I have to
also
protect
feel like
you. I have to make sure
I
that
feel
all the
like
bills
if
are
you
paid.
think there's something wrong with that, you have to also feel like there is something wrong with you not doing all of the manly jobs yourself because you're making the same amount of money. Now, I'm not saying I just keep all my money tucked and never spend it on anything. What I'm saying is you get your money and you spend it on the bills. I get my money and because that's what you're supposed to do. I get my money and I spend it on what I'm supposed to do of making the house a home. So if you feel like at the end of the day, no, I need your elbow grease into making the house of a home, I'm going to say I don't feel protected unless you fix my car.
Again, you're making
and don't take it to a mechanic.
And that's what we always disagree because again, it goes back to like now you being combative. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what do you mean if I don't get your car? Like,
Why
what do you
do
mean
I
have
have
to go
to-
and fix your car and fix your spark plugs? We're talking
I don't
about
feel
making a
comfortable if
pancake
you
in the
don't.
morning. You're gonna be single, girl, because there's 18,000 girls that is lined up waiting for a nigga like me to do with the things I do, and they will make 8 pancakes in the morning for me,
And make
will,
and go to work and make $300,000.
absolutely,
Okay,
absolutely,
that's
100%.
fine.
Why wouldn't they?
I mean, there probably is, and that's great. I'm just not the bitch, and that's okay. We could agree. That's fine. I'm just not her. I'm not her that feels like I need to go above and beyond for somebody.
It's not even above and beyond. That's what I'm trying to say. You got this all messed up.
It
not
is
going
above and beyond because
cooking for
how
your-
could
for your
you?
husband?
It is going above and beyond if you can say we can make the same amount of. I'm saying that I am at work. I am tired. So if 4 out of 7 days a week I have a cook, and you say I don't like that, that's tough shit to me. I don't care because I'm saying that I'm probably slaving at my job to make sure that you have this insurance
You're an
policy,
entrepreneur now,
as
bro.
you said.
If
If I'm an
you were going
entrepreneur,
back and
I
forth with
still
Ray.
bust my ass to make. An entrepreneur doesn't make $300,000 a year overnight.
I said that. No, you have to put the work in.
You got to put the work in. So now I put the work in, and so now
Nigga might not be
I
eating for
gotta
2
go
or 3 years. All right, cool. I get it. You ordering out to eat. Da 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 da. But once the money's coming in, everything's flowing.
no, because we're not ordering out to eat. Because at the end of the day, you don't want a woman to be able to order out to eat while she's busting her ass, regardless if it's an entrepreneur or work.
I don't want to do what?
You don't want a girl to be going. First of all, let me sidebar. We go out to eat all the time.
Yeah,
All the time. All the time. That's sidebar. Let me tell y'all the truth.
For sure.
But I guess he's standing up for his strong men.
Yeah, it's
And
like
I
most men
get it.
feel that way because at the end of the day,
That don't
doesn't
make it right
matter.
or wrong. I didn't grow up in a household like that. I grew up in a household where my grandfather did a lot of the housework because my grandmother worked a lot and my grandfather worked a lot. They both
And
worked
when your
their ass
grandmother
off.
came home, I'm sure she cooked in that kitchen because that's what West Indians do. I don't fuck. They work 12 hours a night. Nurses, they're all nurses anyway.
She
So
did.
they
My
come work
grandmother.
12-hour shifts, and they're gonna at the 13th, 14th hour come home and make sure that their husband is ready to go. That's just what they do.
If my grandmother could have afforded a cook, bitch, there would have been a cook in that motherfucking house. I'm telling
West
you.
Indian ladies are not bringing another lady in their house.
That's bullshit. Not my grandmother. You don't know Norma.
Yeah.
She would have brought a cook. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
when they were back home, they did have a maid and a cook. So I know that for sure. My grandmother, she helped raise me. My mom is a little different. My mother likes to cook and clean and cater to. I didn't get that trait. I just didn't. So I wouldn't know what to tell you. I know if I was bringing in the same amount of money as my husband, then I'm gonna do what I want to do, just like my husband does what he wants to do. And if it was an issue, you don't gotta pay all the bills. I don't mind spending my coin. I don't mind going 50-50. To be honest
those
with
aren't
you.
my beliefs. That's
So
what I'm trying to say. Like, it's deeper than that. It's not even about what you want to do. I feel like this is what I'm going to do, and this is what should be done.
this is the misogyny.
And maybe
this is
it
the
is.
misogyny coming out.
And maybe it is, but these are my feelings, and that's how I feel. So it's like, it has nothing to do with you about paying. If I'm making money to cover the bills, like I stated when we first started this podcast, I'm going to do that. But I also expect you to do certain things too.
I don't expect you to do what you're doing what you want to do, but you think I should do what you expect me to do.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing in your world.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it in your world. Now it's to get me to do it. It's the problem.
It's like
to get me to do it is the problem. You can want what you want. I want $1 million right now. To get it is the problem.
Yeah, but it's like, at the end of the day, it doesn't make it
I
right.
think men feel like because they have this plethora of women that will be ready and willing.
I know some men that's willing to, that want to go 50-50, and the woman's still supposed to cook. And guess what? They still cook.
Yeah. I feel
to
bad
keep
for
that
those.
man happy. No, I don't feel bad for him.
I feel bad for those women.
Because
I don't feel bad because they probably doing what they want to do.
It feeds their desire, their energy. It feeds what they.
Yes,
it's like,
my mom is one of those
Yeah,
women.
100%.
Yeah, my mom is one of those women that she likes to cater to men no matter what.
There's a lot of women low key like that. You're just
no, it's not.
No,
it's not low key.
There is.
It's not low key. Oh, no,
maybe
no.
not low key. Maybe it's high key, but it's a lot of women like that. Yeah, there's a lot of women like that.
It's high key. Yeah, I'm not one of them.
There's a lot of women that does a lot for their man and really don't get the return.
Yeah.
In their investment.
There's a lot of women that you heard that do not get the return in their investment. I never wanted to be one of them bitches.
No, but again, it goes back to where she's extreme. And I hate to say it, she's extremely lucky because she got a nigga.
Who's lucky?
You.
Who?
You got it. You got a man. You got a man that doesn't really care too much about.
Oh, I'm like, who's lucky?
I'm just easy going. So it's like.
I mean, people forget, right? I have a man like my grandfather was.
Women are going over and beyond to do what they got to do to not even lose their man.
Because women need companionship to feel complete. I never did.
But you always had a man.
Yeah, that actually draws men to you, which is weird. I think more women should try it. We've had private conversations before, and you admitted that, damn, if more women were like you, men would be straighter. They would get their shit more together. But women let up so easy. Women just take shit and deal with shit no matter what because they just need the companionship. I've slept alone many nights, and I'm okay. And I got a husband that may feel like he feels these different things, but I obviously bring something to the table. There's something that he likes about me, that he married me when he has a plethora of women that would do exactly what he said they would do.
Yeah, you definitely bring value. You definitely have value for sure.
I think some of the value is you knowing that I would probably be okay without a man.
No, that doesn't cross my mind because I can care less about that. I think what it is the way you are. As much as you're not delusional, you are completely understanding, and that as much as your understanding takes up a
very
logical person. Mm-hmm. So I can get through.
I'm not super emotional, and I feel like people. I feel like women who do everything just to cater to their men, they're usually more emotional.
Yeah, and I'm a very strategic person, right? So I looked at this through the long haul. Like this was a long play for me. So it was like, certain things that I maybe disagree with her in the beginning, I always knew that where I'm going, my trajectory, she won't be a liability. You know what I mean? She's not risky. Like,
yes.
You know what I mean? Certain girls, I can get what I want, but they're very risky.
Yes.
So it's like, they did all that, they did all this, and it's like, damn, this shit blow up in your face.
Yes.
To where with her, it's not gonna really blow up in your face. Like, she will handle how she handles within me and her. You know what I mean? And or whatever the case is, she's very logical girl. So that holds a lot of value as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think that it's like one or the other, right? You get the emotional girl that is very catering, and that's beautiful. And shout out to those girls. And you get the very logical, very understanding woman who stands on her own values. It's one or the other. And he picked the other. Give me a kiss.
Choose wisely, guys.
Love you.
Love you.